Today's episode is for those of you that feel like you are drowning in the weight of your dreams. You have these big goals, these big ideas, and life just continues to pass you by. You're sitting here feeling overwhelmed by not being able to achieve the things that you say you want to do. Let's be real. Everybody has goals until it gets inconvenient. We all want to have a new body, more money, or better habits. We don't understand how to put in the work and change the routine to get there. At the end of the day, we are all living in a routine. If you take a second to reflect, what is my routine? Am I always running late? Am I not eating breakfast in the morning? Do I have enough time to get ready? Or am I scrambling to start the day? Do you think that's starting the day that way is going to help build the life that you're trying to build? I don't think so. How do we unlearn our bad habits and create new routines so that we can step in to every single day building upon the person that we want to be? Because I'm telling you, the only one getting in the way right now is you. You quite literally have free will, girl. You can do whatever the hell you want in this life. And it's time to live on delusion and start stepping into the person that you want to be, because we're going to leave all that negative self-talk and all that bullshit in 2025. Okay. It is the third week of January. How are you doing on your goals? Have you committed? Are you still doing dry January? Are you still going to the gym? We are barely 3 weeks in, girl. And we're going to talk exactly how to do that and how to break down these goals so that you can feel confident in achieving them in today's episode.
Girl, stop talking. All the shit that people are thinking but not saying. Are you still talking? Girl, stop talking.
Happy fucking Monday, bitches. Just kidding. Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, bitches. I am back and late, as you can imagine, this week. But you know what? We are getting her done. We are here. We are showing up. And I have to start the little intro with our 3 wins of the week. Not one of you wrote your wins in the Spotify or YouTube comments. So, you know what? A girl's just going to keep on going. She's going to keep on trying. And for the life of me, there will be a community here, people chatting with each other and excited to push this forward. I just know it. I'm going to keep living in this land of delusion right now because I can't face the other side of it. That's truly why I will be so crippled by my own fear and anxiety and disappointment if this doesn't work out for me. I cannot let that happen. I'm going to tell you, before we get into our wins, I'm struggling at the moment. Like, I know I look cute, hair, makeup done, but I do not feel as cute as I look right now. Let me tell you. Okay. I am under the weather this week. I've rescheduled work. And I just told myself if there's only one thing you can do is just get this podcast out and edited. And for the 50 of you that listen every week, I love you. You know who you are. I'm putting so much time and effort into making this look so pro, and I'm having so much fun doing it. I wish there was a bigger audience, but you know what? We're learning, we're living, we're loving, okay? It is really taking a lot of my energy right now to sit here and talk about, I didn't even know what I was going to talk about. And look, I'm already on a fucking tangent. Jesus, you guys got to let me know. Like, do we like the tangents? I'm realizing now in my 30s that I'm probably a little ADHD, but like, I think I use it for the best. Like, I think it's the best qualities of me, honestly, because I do be getting shit done. Like, I don't get stuck. I just beat bop around like the Energizer Bunny, leaving lights on to remind myself I got to go back to finish the task. And that's kind of like how my brain feels, you know, like I'll leave a light on to like go back to the combo. We'll pick it back up where we left off in a couple minutes. You have to let me know, because if we want something a little more structured, I can do that too. But sometimes I just need to sit here and like do what's right for the people, you know? my wins. My wins last week, you think I'd come prepared. Let me think really quick. I made all of my meals from home. That was a win. What else did I do last week? I didn't have a full fucking crash out on anyone during my week of PMS. That was a win. And I kept my stress low and just really day to day focus on what is going on in the current moment and what I do have control over instead of spiraling out of control. So those are my 3 wins. I don't have any fun stories over the last week. Nothing chaotic or crazy has happened. I've been hibernating the last couple of days because I'm not feeling great. Do you guys even care about this? I don't even know. You know, I'm just like rambling at this point. I did drink a Celsius to try to like get in the vibes. I feel like it did nothing. That's like where I'm at. Whether or not that's a problem is a topic for another time. Okay. I just really wanted to be like comfy cozy. I got new slippers. They match my hair. Look how cute. And I really want to talk about setting goals. And this is something that it's been a topic of conversation that's come up in my life quite a bit, especially with starting the women's fitness program and really understanding how important it is to be like reaching towards something. And what I've come to realize is this is one of the hardest things to do, is actually set goals that we can achieve. And being able to achieve our goals plays hand in hand in how we feel about ourselves. And so this episode is going to be a little more motivational and inspirational for you, hopefully. I talked about this last year a little bit, but I think it's so fascinating. And there's not like an actual number on this, but you know, there's like a certain holiday for every day of the year. And there's actually in January a day called National Quitter's Day. And this day is typically the second Friday of January or of the new year, is typically when people quit the goals that they have made for themselves. We are on today is the 27th of January. So I want you to reflect on your goals that you made for the new year or whenever you decided to make them. Check in with yourself. How are you doing? Okay. How are the goals doing? Are we still making active steps to make those things happen? We're only 3 weeks in to the new year. And like, I also, if your answer to that, if you're listening to this and you're like, wow, I already quit on my goals, like this doesn't mean you failed. Okay. Like we just got to check in, regroup. You can continue to work at them at any given point in time. You're an adult with free will, okay? Like, it's only the first 3 weeks into the year. Not that much time has passed, so don't just give up because you've already given up. That's for one. But I want to give you some stats because it's going to go a lot into our episode on why people actually quit. And a lot of that is because they're setting unrealistic goals. So this says that 80% of people give up on their goals by the second Friday of the month, because these goals are often too strict or too unrealistic. And the better perspective to have is to set attainable goals. So how do we do that? Well, I'm gonna fucking tell you, girl. I've come up with a 30, 60, 90 breakdown on how to set up structure and achieve your goals so that you can start building that confidence and understanding that you can do these things, even when life comes to hit you in the face. Most people give up on their goals within the first 2 to 3 weeks, and this is because motivation fades. Once you're no longer excited, reality sets in, life sets in, real life inconveniences start to happen, then the goal that you set seems like, maybe it's not that important, or maybe I can just do it another time, or I don't have to do it right now. I can pick it up whenever. So we expect these like consistent results, fast-paced results, when we're not even really putting in the work to reach them. And this is where a lot of things get missed. It's like, weight loss is a great thing for this. You want to lose the weight, but you don't want to stop, eating fast food. Okay? Like, you're not going to lose the weight you want to lose if you're going to continue to eat fast food. It's not going to work out for most people, okay? Like, I understand there's a higher level where people are like really tracking and they're making the fast food work for them, and that's great, but that is not for most people. A lot of the times we romanticize the outcome, but we hate the process. It's like we understand the things that we need to do, but we don't actually want to do them. And then there comes this point where people really understand how boring discipline is. Being disciplined doesn't have to be boring. You can romanticize the little things. You can set up strategies and rewards for yourself along the way. But again, that's just like learned behaviors that come over time of making a commitment to yourself. We're all motivated the first 10 days, and then we realize those demons start to come and show up in our head. That little voice is like, you don't have to go to the gym today. You don't have to track your food. You don't have to stay at work late to, build this business. Like, why don't you just drink the champagne? Why don't you just go out with your friends? Why don't you just scroll on TikTok for 17 hours before you go to bed? Like, all of those voices start getting into our head, and then we just lean in a little bit. A little too much, maybe. So how are we going to stop ourselves from leaning into the voices and unlearning these like bad habits? Because that's all it is. You've conditioned yourself to be in this habit that is not making you successful in the way that you want to be successful. And our brains literally try to find the easiest outcome. It feels easier for us to give up on the goals and the person that we want to become because of all of the fears that we have of like, well, what could happen if? And a lot of the times we are self-sabotaging because of those fears, because we're afraid to fail, or sometimes we're afraid to succeed because we don't know what that looks like. We feel too comfortable in our own bullshit to make a change because that's what feels comfy cozy. And if you really think about that for a second, whether you're like in a bad relationship or you're unhappy, or maybe you've gained the weight that, you don't feel comfortable in your body, but every day you continue to show up in the same way that got you there, and you're okay with that. And I think that's a hard thing to recognize a lot of the times. We don't want to admit that we got ourselves in this position and this is how we're showing up for ourselves. We're not. We don't want to admit we're not showing up for ourselves. That's a hard thing to admit. And then on top of it, I have to sit there and be like, I actually like it here. I feel comfortable. Because once you're trapped in that comfort, baby girl, it is so hard to get out. It's so hard. It's having to take accountability that you let it get this far. It's having to take accountability that, you're not showing up for the person that you want to be. You're actually doing the opposite of everything that you say you want to do. And you're just in this loop, like this cycle of repeating it over and over, but not doing anything to make the change. So how do we make the change? I'm going to break this down and make it really fucking easy, okay? The 30, 60, 90 rule. The first 30 days, you're going to get yourself a fucking calendar because I guarantee if you are not where you want to be in your life, it is because there is no structure and you are not organized, okay? I'm sorry if this feels a little triggering or a little cutthroat, but we're getting to the point. We're making changes. This is how we do it. You have to have structure. You have to prep and plan. Okay. There's just no other way about it. And in the first 30 days, you're focusing on building a habit, not the result. Okay. So when it comes to like fitness and nutrition, and this is just like one of the easiest examples, a lot of the time we talk about this 80-20 rule. So 80% whole foods, 20% junk food, okay? Or you could use that in any aspect of your life. If you show up for yourself 80% of the time, you can give yourself 20% to do whatever the fuck you want. But then you have to bounce right back. You got to get back on the 80. You can't let the 20 become 40, become 60, become 80, and then you're 80% doing what you're not supposed to, 20% barely showing up for yourself. That is exactly why we ended up where we're at, right? Okay. So the first thing you're going to do for the first 30 days, you're going to get a calendar. Whether that's you're a pen to paper girly or you use one on your phone, we're adults. Why are we not scheduling our time? Right now, for the first 30 days, we're creating structure. Structure and building upon habits. This is how habits last. We're looking for consistency, not perfection. Okay, so let's say you want to, I'm going to use the weight loss just because it's the easiest thing to do. I'm going to give you another example also. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. How are you going to do that? Your end goal is 20 pounds lost, but what are we doing every day to show up in these 30, 60, 90 days so that we can lose the weight? Well, the first 30 days, we're going to structure. 5 out of 7 days of the week, you're going to be moving your body more. You take that however you want to, you put it on your calendar, you time block it, whether you're using Google or Apple, you make a commitment that I'm gonna set myself up for success. I'm gonna create new habits. Some of the things that I think truly have helped me change my life and the direction of how I feel about myself is when we commit to sticking to the promises we make to ourselves. That is how you build confidence. And the best way to do this is creating structure. So I guess I should just go into that. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place. I've never really like talked or tried to like teach people like this. So I hope you're getting there. How we do that? Well, if you don't have a calendar, like I said, I imagine that there is no structure. So we start from the basics. We create structure in our lives, regardless of what your life is like, what kind of job you work. 5 out of the 7 days, like the days that you are working, you should be waking up at the same time every day. We wake up at the same time every day. We go to sleep around the same time. We have a morning routine, a night routine. That is the structure, okay? You start with that. The best thing you could do for yourself is wake up with enough time to do something for yourself. That is going to create healthier habits. Maybe, you're saying you want to lose weight, so you're going to wake up early so that you can go on a 30-minute walk every day before work. That is something that you can do 5 out of 7 days of the week, 80% of the time, to expend more energy to get you to that goal. Okay? Or maybe your goal is studying. Maybe you have a career or a job or something that you need to train for, and the big goal is you have 100 hours that you have to study. How do we break that down daily? Well, we do an hour a day. Maybe you do 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. But the key here for the first 30 days is having a physical copy, writing it down, creating structure for yourself, putting it on the calendar. And then every day that you get it done, you give yourself a little star. You give yourself a reward. How are you going to reward yourself that day? Is it a pat on the back? Is it, an energy drink the next morning? Maybe it's Starbucks. I don't fucking know. It could be a sticker. You would literally get a calendar, put it in your bedroom, write down the daily tasks that you want to do, and every single day give yourself a sticker when you do it. Do you know how many calendars I have in my house? I have one in my bedroom, one on my phone, one on the fridge. I have 3. I have 3 calendars. They're all color coded. It's insane. But you know what? It's like I start to spiral in my head about all the things that I want to do. And like, I'm a creative. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of things I want to do. If I'm not writing it down, if I'm not getting it out of here, it turns into anxiety in my body. It gives me this feeling of like, I can't do it. I'm not doing enough. Look, you can't do the things. Look at all these other people. That's what they're doing and you should be there. And it literally starts to make me spiral. And so I have to get it out. I have to put it down. The first 30 days is going to be make or break, okay? And listen, it's not about perfection. It's just about progress. Progress, consistency, ebbs and flows. Some days you end up doing an hour. Other days you do 5 minutes. Whatever the task may be, if you could just commit 1 hour to yourself, whatever that may be, for the first 30 days, you will start to lean into this new habit. 1 hour every day for 30 days. You pick. Let me know in the comments. What habit are you gonna stick to? I wanna know. Tell me. Day 60 and forward. This is where the momentum starts to kick in. This is where the confidence starts to build, because you are showing up. You're doing the things that you say you're gonna do, and you're revalidating exactly what you said you're going to do. So you're feeling confident, you're feeling the momentum, you're getting inspired to keep going and keep pushing, because you look back now and you say, look, I did the thing. I walked every single day. I've been tracking my food. I've been showing up to the gym. I've studied for an hour, multiple hours over the last 4 weeks, and you have the facts to prove it. So the second month, you're locked in. You're feeling the momentum. And then something happens. Then life happens, right? You get a flat tire if you can't make it to the gym. You get fired, or, you break up with your man, or something crazy happens that sets you back. In those moments, that's where you have to lean on your discipline and continue to show up. Like, all you're asking for yourself is 1 hour. Even if you put 1 hour into yourself every day, that's all you need to start these changes. Because once you're in month 2 and you've already proven to yourself that you can do these things, you don't want to stop. Then you start becoming competitive with yourself. And you're like, I wonder if I could do this also. Or I wonder if I could push myself a little more. Maybe I could go another hour. Or could I wake up a little earlier? And then you start having these positive reinforcements and re-challenging yourself to become the better version and get more things done. And then day 90 and over is where the identity shift happens. You're seeing the progress. You've built confidence around these goals, and you've gotten 2 months worth of shit done. It's like insane. Okay? Like, life is always going to hit us, and we don't know what it's going to hit us with. But the importance of, making these goals achievable is going to be so valuable to how you show up and get them done. And that's why we want to start small. We want to start with an hour. We want to start with doing one thing every day to help us achieve and get to the bigger goal. And that goal you may not be able to attain that goal in 90 days. That's not what I'm saying, but these are the steps to get there, to build the momentum. The truth is, and I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this, you're not too busy, or you don't have enough time. You just have bad time management. And I cannot stress enough why a calendar is so important. You can time block, you schedule your day, and then you don't oversleep. Then you hold your commitments to yourself. Then you're showing up for the things that you want to show up for, whether that's the gym, a meeting, breakfast, a hangout, whatever that may be. Once you start prioritizing and scheduling your time, then the habits become easier. Then the goals become easier, because we all can make excuses. Life is busy for everyone. Some people are parents and have pets or taking care of family members. Some people have to travel, and whatever it may be, we all can make excuses, but the facts are the facts, right? Like, if I sat here and asked you, what's your screen time look like? Just on your phone. We're not even talking about the TV time, because we can't access that information always, but what does your screen time look like? I did this with my clients the other day, because I'm like, hello, why are we not prepping and planning our food? We're diving into nutrition in the program this month, like hard. And I'm sitting here like, I'm about to ask everyone for their screen time and their check-in. Send me your screen time. I want to see it, because there should be no excuses on why you can't prep and plan food 2 days a week to help you achieve your goals. But it is about unlearning the bad behaviors and creating better habits. It all feels overwhelming at first. It all feels annoying at first. But once you start building those habits, it truly just becomes a part of your routine. Every night before I go to bed, I set up my day for tomorrow in a way that makes sense for me. And sometimes I put in everything that I'm going to eat for that day because I have a busy day and I don't want to have to guess, and I can just grab and go, and I know that there's nothing I have to worry about. Other times it's I can't sleep, so I'm getting everything out of my head, writing it on a piece of paper and putting it by my desk away from my bed so that I can have a peaceful night at rest. Sometimes I wake up extra early in the morning and I spend that time with myself because I know, as a busy mom especially, the only moment that I get to myself during the day is before everyone else wakes up. So do I like waking up at 5:15, 5:30 every morning? No, I don't even consider myself a morning person, and I haven't for years, which, contrary to belief, you guys may think, oh my God, Tatum, you look so alive, like you're having a great time. Was it easy at 4 or with the sun down at 4 or 5 a.m. to have my alarm clock go off at 4:45 so I could make it to a gym class at 5? Absolutely not. But you know what I did to build that habit? I started finding things that would change the way I think, change my perspective of how I show up for myself. And once I realized those mornings that I showed up in the pitch black darkness at 5 a.m. at the gym, and I had a bomb ass workout and I was out by 6, home, fully ready, made breakfast, packed Deegan for lunch, and it was only 7 a.m. and I already lived 2.5 hours, I realized that I felt better about myself. And that's the feeling that keeps me getting up, is because I know that I'm never going to look back and be like, oh, I wish I just would have snoozed my alarm 6 more times. No, but I always look back and say, damn, I wish I just would have gotten out of bed earlier this morning. And those things are just a game changer. I have to have the structure in my life, otherwise it would fall apart and I would not be able to achieve these goals that I want to achieve. This podcast, for example, this wasn't planned. This podcast episode that was supposed to be out on Monday wasn't on my calendar, and therefore it didn't get done. And you know what I did today? I'm sick. I put it on my calendar. I was like, I don't care how you feel. You're going to show up and you're just going to rant your little heart out, whatever you decide to talk about. And that you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Because there's only 50 people that listen anyways. I don't know if this was helpful for anyone. I felt so scatterbrained and all over the place. I definitely feel like I should structure this better. But hey, this is for the first go around, okay? Said it before, I'll say it again. They can't all be bangers. But you know what? I'm going to walk away this week feeling like I showed up for myself because I did the thing I said I was going to do. And that's exactly what we're talking about. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be progress. And this is what a great way to wrap up this episode. Are you freaking kidding me? A full circle moment. Are you kidding? Man, I wish I felt good because this was difficult. Another episode will be out on Monday. I don't really know what else to say at this point. I hope I got my message across. We're done. Goodbye.
Are you still talking? Girl, stop talking.